regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators! Mount up!
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the E, so I could get some phones. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Just hit the east side of the LBC, on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweak. All of you skirts know what's up with 213.
So I hooked select on 21 and Lewis, some brothers shooting dice. So I said, let's do this. I jumped out the ride and said, what's up? Some brothers pulled some gas, so I said, I'm stuck.
Since these girls peeping me, I'm gonna glide and swerve. These hookers looking so hard, they straight hit the curve. Want to bigger, better things than some horny tricks. I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix.
I'm getting jacked, I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they taking Warren's wealth. They took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next?
They got my homie hemmed up and they all around. Can't none of them see him if they going straight down for pound. They wanna come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my strap and lay them busters down.
They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my own town. If I had wings, I would fly, let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my homie Nate.
16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate. Switching my mind back into freak mode. If you won't skirt, sit back and observe. I just left a gang of those over there on the curb.
Now they got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on N-A-T-E and me, the Warren to the G.
Just like I thought, they were in the same spot, in need of some desperate help. The Nate Dogg and the G-Child were in need of something else. One of them names was sexy as hell. I said, ooh, I like your size. She said my chords broke down and just sing real nice. Would you let me ride? I got a car full of girls and it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel.
To a whole new era, G-Funk, step to this, I dare ya. Funk on a whole new level.
The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble.
Chords, strings, we brings melody. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm.
If you know like I know, you don't wanna step to this. It's the G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. If you smoke like I smoke, then you're high like every day. And if your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate.
I wasn't even going to do this tonight, but I need my brother to come holler at me. And because I don't know if somebody is actually using a fake account, you know what I'm saying, to troll him or to, you know what I'm saying, like have some things be said or whatever. So I just figured that I holler at the homie. You know what I'm saying? Listen, not just that. People say that Miami, right? People say Miami shouldn't be rated where they're rated at, right? I mean, they shouldn't be rated in the top 10, right? So what I did was, I went and pulled up Notre Dame. I went and pulled up Notre Dame's schedule, right? That's what I did. I went and pulled up Notre Dame's schedule. And if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, right, their schedule is their schedule is not more impressive than ours. Like, they're serious. Their schedule, this is why I get pissed off. And this is why I get pissed.
This man, has anybody seen this video? I haven't. I just saw this morning. So I don't have any idea what this is about. Does this man realize that Notre Dame beat Clemson and that Miami lost to Clemson by 25? And is he really complaining that Miami is not ranked ahead of Notre Dame?
You big dummy.
Let's talk about Hurricane fans. Hurricane fans saying Miami don't deserve to be top 10. So you're telling me, all right, Notre Dame, the only significant win they got this year, we beat Florida State better than Notre Dame beat them. The same damn near tight game as Louisville had with Notre Dame we had.
Clemson!
The only big win Notre Dame got was with a
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
In the 305, bitches treat me like I'm Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube today. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it also in addition to that as well. Hope you guys are having a great morning, Tuesday morning. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Tuesday morning. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Good to see you in here. Let's see. Who's here this morning? Let's take attendance. Let's see. Luke's Production is here. Melissa May is here. Celine Driver is here. Neo is here. The Ace 2 is here. Sooner Fan Ben is here. Ethan, KC, Kevin Dog Fan for Life. The Bet, Crimson Brave. Oh, shit. BVD is here on time. Thank you, sir. The Ace 2, Ethan the Buckeye, Simply AG3, Glittergator, Dalton from T-Town is here, Brandon Pratt, CB, Louis McElroy, Jason Crosby, Paul Riggs. Shout out to all you guys for tuning in, and a shout out to those of you who can't participate in the comments section. I said a thing yesterday at the end of the show thinking, which I don't do enough. In fact, I don't know that I've ever done it. Thanking the people that watch, but for whatever reason don't participate in the comment section, whether it's because they can't or they don't want to. And I got not one but two emails yesterday from people who don't participate in the comment section, but they wanted to let me know they do watch the show. Both of them had a very legitimate reason for not really being able to participate in the comment section. One is unable to listen to the show live, so he listens on his lunch break. And the other one is at work when he listens, but he can't participate in the comment section or he can't do his job good. So big shout out to everybody that's tuned in this morning, whether you're participating in the comment section or not. Of course, we love you guys in the comment section too. The comment section is the best part about this channel. I'm just background noise. That's all, really. So appreciate all of you tuning in. What's up, Caleb? He says, I just got out of the Marine Corps, I think, and started a new job, so I won't be able to watch live as much, but I used to. I apologize and keep up the good work. Well, that's okay, Caleb. I understand, one of the reason I do 3 shows at 3 different times is because there's really nobody that is able to watch all 3. So I try to spread the shows. out. I got the morning show. Got a show at lunchtime, noon, and got the nighttime shows on Tuesday and Thursday, and then of course all the Saturday stuff too. But listen, I understand people have school, work, family obligations, whatever the case. I understand not everybody can tune in every time. I appreciate you tuning in when you can, sir. Bama Mike, thank you for hitting that super chat right off the jump this morning. You're good people, sir. He says, Dapper Dan, Lou. Fresh dressed to impress. Uncle Lou is a Dapper Dan, man. That's right. Look at this. Look, I saw this. I had to get this jacket yesterday. I had to. First of all, it was on sale. That's always good. This jacket was $39. $39. Just look at it. I'm saying. This jacket was $39 damn dollars. I mean, come on. And you haven't even seen wait till I show you. Should I show you the best part now? Should I show you the best part of this jacket now? Fuck it. Look at this. Are you ready? Hey, get down here. Where are you going? Look at this. You ready for this? Look at this. It's got the damn elbow patches. I had to get it. I had to get it immediately. I had to get the damn thing immediately. You know where I got the Kohl's? I got this at Kohl's. I had to go to Kohl's for something else yesterday. And I saw this jacket, and I said, actually, they had a whole rack of sports coats on sale, a clearance. So I said, let me take a look here. $39. Man, listen, look, you can't beat this. You can't beat this. Look, socks of the day. Who was it who made fun of my... I think it was BVD was making fun of my socks. What's your problem, BVD? BVD. You there? BVD. Hold on. You there? You there? Well, bless BVD's heart. Not sure what he's doing. No idea. Yeah, good morning. Anyway, yeah, got it at Kohl's. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was great also in two, in addition to that as well. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah, good morning and that. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. All right, I'm good. All these games getting canceled. What? Now, speaking of Miami, where is the Miami man? Is there a Miami? Where's a Miami man in here? I need to speak to a Miami man. I need to for real speak to a Miami man. Is there one in here? How you cancel 3 games in a row? How do you know you can't play in 3 weeks? Yeah, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Well, that's extremely odd.
Yeah.
Must be the ghost.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Not the ghost of Future Tribe.
So where is the Miami man in here? Bears, Cubs, Canes. What is going on? How do you know that your team is going to have coronavirus in 3 weeks, sir? I need an explanation for this too, and also COVID-19, 3 weeks, Dennis. No one has done this. The ACC ain't got no 3-week rule. What are y'all doing? This is ridiculous.
What's going on with them?
Miami has canceled their next 3 games. Miami's determined to finish the regular season with 1 loss, ain't they?
Well, looks like they just did.
Miami's on that Florida plan. They just can't cancel.
This season's
cancel
not finishing,
for any
Luke.
reason.
This season's not finishing.
I guess they didn't the ACC. Well, of course, Miami not playing in the ACC title game, and they clearly know that and have accepted that because they have rescheduled one of these games they're canceling for no reason on ACC title day. So, but this just I don't understand this. This is like this is a Big Ten. This is like the Big Ten, isn't it?
I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that in 5.5 weeks, I'm going to have COVID.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the Big Ten never even postponed the first game of the season. They just, we're just not going to play at all. If you can't play this week, postpone this week's game. Lots of teams have done that. Ain't nobody come out and said, we're not playing our next 3 games.
Literally no one.
Well, this is big dumb.
And I thought Slim Shady Canes was just trolling last night when he told me that.
I figured it out. Guess who they're supposed to play this week?
Notre Dame?
Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah. That'd be 4 in a row, right?
They've lost. I think they've lost 2 in a row to Georgia Tech. They've lost 2 in a row to Georgia Tech and 2 in a row to Duke. I bet you they must play Duke. They must play Duke the next week. Let's look. They must play Duke the next week.
They do.
Where the hell's Miami at?
Who would that line up for week 3 if they played Duke?
They must be off next week. No game listed. What the hell is happening here? Okay. So really, wait. So if they're canceling 3 games and that includes a bye week, then that's really 4 weeks.
That's
Okay.
4 weeks.
Because the next game is
Yeah.
at Wake Forest.
They're taking a month off.
This better not be Duke after that. North Carolina. What in the world? How in the hell? Oh, they somehow dodged Duke this year. They got lucky. They don't play till December 5th now. What a joke. What a joke Miami is.
I think they should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame, though.
Well, I'm dropping them out of the top 10 in my poll if they don't want to play. What's the point? Did I rank the Big Ten when they weren't playing? No. I don't think I'll be ranking Miami in my poll until they decide they will actually want to play football.
I hate this for our Hurricane buddies.
This is like Congress. They just take 3-week breaks all the time for no reason. You know? Like it's like, Memorial Day is on whatever. Memorial Day is May 31st. Well, we're off from May 15th to June 15th for Memorial Day.
Well,
This
Congress
is what Congress
can do
does.
that. They can do that.
Well, Miami can.
Apparently, Miami can too.
It doesn't make, I tell people this all the time. Just because you can do something doesn't make it right. Just because you have a right to do something doesn't make it right. This is pitiful. Where is the Miami man? Where's the Miami man? I want to know where's the excuses from the Miami man?
Where you at, Pinecone?
Where's Pinecone? Here's Dennis Wilson. Nobody's scared of no Georgia Tech and Duke, and he spelled when he said no Georgia Tech, it's K-N-O-W. Ain't nobody scared of no Georgia Tech. So you're not scared to know Georgia. No one is scared to know Georgia Tech. But they have beat you twice in a row, and so is Duke. So, and I noticed you don't have FIU or Louisiana Tech on your schedule this year either. And Willie says it's called being safe. Well, if safe was a concern, you wouldn't be playing it. Well, just don't play at all then. How about that? Why are you playing at all? Wasn't safe. If you only, this is, look, make any excuse you want. Canceling 3 weeks. Come on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Think Virginia Tech got them scared?
Well, yeah, or NC State or any of these other teams that they barely beat by 1 point. This is what I have been saying this about Miami fans forever. They are without I'm not gonna lie. They're the most sensitive fan base in all of college football. It doesn't. If you say anything about Miami other than they won 5 national titles a while ago, they lose their mind. They lose their mind. And the thing is, I've been more complimentary of Miami this year than any other year I've been on YouTube. I even gave them a pass on their first couple of struggle wins because I kept saying over and over again, listen, Miami used to lose these games. At least now they're winning them. But when
Dennis Wilson,
if you want to get in the top 10, people, here's what getting back to the longest running joke in the history of this channel, the who have they played argument, right? And I tell people all the time, you can only play who's on your schedule. And sometimes there's going to be some bad teams. Beat the hell out of them. That's all you can do. What else can you do? If you're playing a bad team, you just beat the hell out of them. 25 to 24 to Virginia Tech. And so I said, this is you got to start beating these teams.
I mean,
handling these teams. If you want to,
winning is better than nothing. I get that. I see what you're saying, but if you're Miami at this point, it'd be just like Tennessee.
Think about any other
winning.
team. Think about any other team we talk about a lot that is consistently in the top 10. Clemson, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia, Florida, whatever. When Georgia beat Arkansas 37-10, I got hammered. Ha, ha, ha. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
We beat Kentucky 14-3. I got clowned. But ain't no top 10 team. 14-3. Miami beats Virginia Tech 25-24 in a miracle come from behind victory against a Virginia Tech team that was reeling from an ass beating they received the previous week from Liberty. Virginia Tech's not any good. My point is not that Miami's not any good. Here's what I know why Zoe made that video. I just haven't watched it yet. I don't know what he says. He made a video the day before that video. So Sunday afternoon after the polls came out, he made a video crying about where Miami was ranked in the polls. This is ridiculous. The NCAA, first of all, the NCAA has nothing to do with the polls. And the NCAA hates Miami. Look at these polls. The NCAA is not making polls. The AP is a bunch of sports writers. The AP poll is sports writers. Sports writers are making that poll. The coaches poll is coaches or an assigned do boy for the coach. Like, I don't know if Nick Saban is sitting down every week and making his top 25 and sending it in, or if he's got someone else that does it for him, but that's a coach's poll. Neither of those polls are the NCAA poll. The NCAA, why? Oh, the NCAA just hates Miami. Why? If the NCAA hated Miami, you wouldn't have a football team at all with all the shit that goes on down there. Just look at the Nevin Shapiro thing alone. You got a slap on the wrist for that. They barely punished you at all. The NCAA just hates Miami. But, so in that video, he's crying about where Miami is ranked. And so I just left a comment in it. This is not a troll comment. I left a comment that said, I listed teams in the top 10 I listed teams ranked ahead of Miami that he was crying about. And I said, listen, these teams would beat you, or at the very least, be favored against you on a neutral field right now. That's why they're ranked ahead of you. They're not ranked ahead of you because someone hates you. They're ranked ahead of you because they have a better record or a same record, and they didn't beat Virginia Tech by 1 point.
Let me give you a couple of who's betters, Lou. You tell me what you think.
Let me finish this point, and then we'll get to that. He's complaining that Wisconsin is ranked ahead of them because Wisconsin's only 2-0. Have you watched Wisconsin, Alonzo? He's complaining about have you watched Oregon? He's complaining about India. Have you watched Indiana? Have you watched these teams, though? Have you watched Cincinnati? Who in here would put $1 on Miami to beat Cincinnati? Who? What about Wisconsin? What about Oregon? Who on these lists? Miami should be ranked ahead of who? Okay, even take the coaches poll. They're 9th. Who should they be ahead of in this poll? Miami is 7-1 with a blowout loss to Clemson. Texas A&M has a blowout loss to Alabama. Florida has a loss to Texas A&M. Clemson has a loss to Notre Dame. Those are the only 3 teams ranked ahead of them that have losses. You think Miami should be ahead of any of those teams? No. Miami would get destroyed by all 3 of those teams. We've already seen Clemson destroy them. Florida would beat, if Florida and Miami played this year, forget it. Forget it. Now, Miami fan, tell me Lou just loves Florida. Tell me that, idiot. Texas A&M.
You imagine if Georgia was ranked ahead of Miami right now? And I got no beef with Miami. I don't. I can't talk shit about anybody. I'm just saying. Can you imagine if Georgia was ranked ahead of them?
In the AP, Georgia's 13, Miami is 12. But, and see, this is what My point to Zoe and my point when I talk about Miami right now has nothing to do with Georgia. Nothing. Georgia's
no,
out.
I'm
Georgia's
just, I know,
out.
I'm just
Imagine
saying.
me coming on here and crying right now about where Georgia's ranked in a poll. Why? Like it hasn't. But all they want to do. Oh, yep. Well, that's why Georgia got beat by Florida. What's why Georgia got beat by Florida? Because the NCAA hates Miami? I don't know. I mean, it makes no sense. Lou ain't won a title since 1980. What does that have to do with Miami? Nothing. Nothing. When I make a comment about a team that doesn't have anything to do with Georgia, this whole conversation about Miami has nothing to do with Georgia. Like you said, Miami's ranked ahead of Georgia in both polls. Doesn't have anything to do with that. Zoe is crying about where Miami's ranked in two meaningless polls. The AP and these polls mean nothing. That's number one. Number two, that doesn't have anything to do with Georgia. So when your only comment, like I said, I haven't watched that Zoe video. I guarantee you it's filled with 1980 comments and Georgia can't win nothing and Georgia does. But what I said had nothing to do with Georgia. It's got to do with Miami's ranked about where they should be, honestly, in the AP poll. I don't see a single team in the AP poll. Miami's ranked 12th in the AP poll. I don't see a single team ranked ahead of Miami that I would pick Miami to beat. Not a single one.
Not even BYU?
No, well, I would pick them to beat BYU. I've picked every team that BYU has played. I've picked the other team to beat BYU by 100. That's what I would do in the Miami game. It wouldn't happen.
How about Cincy? Those are the two teams in question.
Oh, Cincy would beat the bejesus out of Miami.
I'm starting to become a believer in Cincinnati.
I tell you, Cincinnati is the best Group of 5 team we have seen since 2017 Central Florida, without question. In the playoff era, I mean. Boise State has some great teams in the late 2000s. That team that beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, a couple of other teams. But in terms of the playoff era, 2014 through now, or 20.
How about Marshall and Liberty?
Miami and Liberty would be a good game. I think Miami and
Liberty.
Miami and Liberty would be a good game, and Miami and Marshall would be a good game. I mean, Liberty just played Virginia Tech. Miami just played Virginia Tech. The games were very simple. Both games came down to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty won on a last-second field goal. And Miami beat Virginia Tech 25-24. So those look like 3 evenly matched teams if you just go off of that.
You watch all of these teams, Lou. Does Liberty have a really good quarterback? I think I heard somebody say that last night.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without it sounding like
I know who it was now.
Hugh Freeze is a great offensive mind.
Right.
Well, here's a good way to make this point. Tell me who Central Florida's quarterback was in 2017.
Couldn't tell you.
Exactly. So I'm not saying I'm not saying he's not any good, but he's obviously good. Is he great? Would he put up those kind of numbers other places? That's impossible to say. I'm gonna say probably not. But let's be real. They've beat 2 Power 5 teams. They're gonna beat 3. They play another one. They play NC State, I think, end of the year. They've beat Syracuse and Virginia Tech.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting right there.
No Group of 5 team has ever beat 3 Power 5 teams in a single regular season, ever. Not Boise State, not Central Florida, not anybody else. Not Cincinnati, ever. In modern times, somebody's going to go back and find something from 50 years ago, but mainly because they rarely play 3 Power 5 teams in a season. You know what I mean? What the hell happened there? You there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm here.
I don't know what
I'm trying to think if I can remember anybody recently from the group of five that's played 3 Power 5 teams.
Well, that's the
I mean,
thing.
you
They
know,
usually don't. They usually don't. Now,
Yeah.
Central Florida, I think, played 3 last year, but lost 2 of them. So, but and I'm not a Liberty fan or a Hugh Freeze fan, but it is interesting when you think about what they've done.
Yeah. I mean,
so and like I said, they beat 2, and they've got an opportunity to go 3-0. Now it's 3 bad ACC teams, but again, who have they played? That's not Liberty's fault. Liberty schedules who will schedule them. And it happened to be Syracuse and Virginia Tech and NC State.
well, Virginia Tech and NC State at least have winning records, right?
I'm not sure
I know
what their
Syracuse
records
is
are.
pretty bad. But what the hell's happened to Dino Babers?
So, but let me just wrap up this about Miami, and then we can move on. But so my whole point is, I've been complimenting Miami all year when other people really have been dogging them, including their own fans, Slim Shady Canes, and others. I said, look, yeah, that's okay. That's not a very impressive win over NC State. Okay. But look at the last 15 years. Normally they lose that game. They came back from behind. How many times was Miami trailing in that NC State game? 3 times?
Oh, they stayed behind.
I mean, they were
Just like
down 2
Virginia Tech.
scores. They were down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. So, I was telling people, like I was telling, get off Miami's back. I was telling people these are games they normally lose, but now they're in the top 10 though now. At least in one of these polls, or last week they were in both polls, whatever it was. You've got to beat some of these teams convincingly. That's what I'm saying. Miami wants people to take them serious. That's the argument. People not taking Miami serious. People not giving Miami respect. Look where they're ranked. When you get to the point as a team or a program where you want serious respect, top 10 respect, you can't be beating these teams by 1 point. That's my point. Not that Miami's not any good. My point is, quit crying about this poll. If Miami would have beat Virginia Tech by 20 points, they wouldn't be 12th in the AP poll. But unfortunately, these things matter. And that was the only point I was making. Okay, Georgia was a top 10 team. They beat Arkansas 37-10. The same Miami fans that are mad about where Miami is ranked right now, after a 1-point win over Virginia Tech, those same Miami fans were on my channel laughing at me about a 37-10 win over Arkansas, a 27-point win, an 11-point win over Kentucky. Those same people were in my comment section laughing at me about 2, 3, and 4 touchdown wins over bad teams. Miami is beating bad teams by 1 point, and those same fans are now crying that they're not getting the respect they think they deserve. You can't have it both ways. Beat these trash can teams like a drum. Georgia, okay, a great example. Georgia was in the top 5 when they barely beat Arkansas, when they barely beat Kentucky. Is Georgia a top 5 team? No. And they beat those teams by 2 scores and 4 scores, respectively, Kentucky and Arkansas. They were ranked in the top 5. They weren't actually a top 5 team, were they? No, and we found that out. And if Miami had an opportunity to play somebody in the top 10, they'd find that out too. They found it out against Clemson. And if they had to play any of these other teams ranked ahead of them, they'd find it out again.
Let's see.
But don't come to me telling me how sorry and overrated Georgia is because they beat Arkansas by 27 points. And then want me to give you top 5 credit for beating Virginia Tech by 1 point. That ain't how it works, Jack.
Indiana, Miami. Who you got?
Indiana. I already said I wouldn't pick Miami against any of these teams ranked ahead
that's
of
the
them.
only.
Not a
That's
single
the last
one.
team. Last team I had a question about. Wisconsin
I wouldn't take a single one of those teams over
Oregon
Miami.
would murder them.
Now, could Miami beat any of the teams ranked ahead of them? Of course. Of course. Miami gets matched up with one of these teams ahead of them in a bowl game. In a one-game scenario, anything can happen. But as far as who I would pick to win if they played tomorrow, who I think would be favored, who would Miami be favored over, even in the AP poll where they're 12th? Which of the 11 teams ranked ahead of Miami would Miami be a favorite against on a neutral field? Which one? I don't see one.
The only one that I see that they might even remotely possibly be favored over would be either Indiana or BYU. And I doubt it.
So that's the morning rant brought to you by Alonzo1219. Thank you, Alonzo.
You big dummy.
You may be right, Bad Dog.
At least he put Uncle Lou in the title of the video so people will watch it. Smart move, sir. Smart move. Let's see. Wilkie, thank you for the super chat. He says, will you play George's last video? It's 30 seconds. I would, but you can't find George's channel because it's called George. And so you can't find the channel. If you want to post the link, I'll try to play it that way. But I'm not searching for a channel called George. I'm going to have to start adding that to my list of advice whenever people ask me about starting a YouTube channel. I have the same 3 or 4 things I tell everybody every single time. I'm going to start adding, please make your channel name findable. If you're just in the comment, if you're just a commenter somewhere, it's fine for your YouTube name to be Steve or Tom, or George. But if you're going to have a channel with videos, make it findable. Just a little word of advice. Vector12, thank you for the super chat. He says, looking clean, Lou. Good morning. Yeah, thank you. It feels good to dress up every once in a while, doesn't it? I used to have to dress up every single day for work, shirt, tie, the whole thing. And I used to tell myself, man, if it's like the grass is greener thing, It's like, man, I used to say, man, these people that work from home are lucky, man, and keep their pajamas on all day. And there are days that I do that. Well, not pajamas, but there's days that I don't, I just throw whatever on or whatever. But now that I do that every day, I'm like, man, sure would be nice to dress up sometimes. You just feel better.
Who we need to get back on here that we haven't had in a while? Bad Dog. I know Bad Dog, I think, is back to work now.
Oh, maybe if I remember right, last year he came on during Thanksgiving week because maybe he was off or something. So maybe sometime. Bad Dog, if there's a day you can come on anytime, but maybe you have some time off in or around the holidays or something. Not on Thanksgiving, but I don't know, maybe. Oh, well, shit, I don't think we're doing the morning show Thanksgiving week. I'll be on
It's not looking good.
I'll be on the road. We're leaving at like 4 a.m, I think, Tuesday of that week, and I won't be back till Sunday, so there might not be a morning show that week. But anyway, Bad Dog, if you have an opportunity to come on, I think that's the Friday after 11/27. That's the Friday after Thanksgiving. I probably can't do it that day.
Yeah, we need our Bad Dog mid-season report. Of course, it'll be a little more past mid-season when we get to the 27th. But
I think I always have him on too, like when the NFL playoffs start or during the playoffs or whatever. I like to have him on too.
I need his thoughts on my Cardinals.
Yeah. Let's see. I think they posted that link. Yep. All right. Let's see what they're talking about.
Comment from Chest Hall. Thanksgiving will be fun.
That link doesn't work when I click it. It says, oops, something went wrong. This is what comes up when I click that link y'all are posting. So if somebody wants to email me the link or whatever, then maybe I'll see about playing it later. But that's what comes up. So I'm done trying to find it now.
Oops.
If somebody wants to email it to me or whatever, then maybe later towards the end of the show I'll try to play it. No, I'm not coming to New York, Bad Dog, because you said you didn't want to hang out with me again, so I canceled that trip. BVD, what if you came down here, but then I said, no, not interested in hanging out with you? How would that make you feel?
What if I came to Augusta and you said not interested in hanging out with you?
Yeah.
That'd be fine. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't want to hang out with me either.
What if you came to Augusta 6 times and all 6 times I said that?
Well, I'm a pretty nice guy, Lou. I'd probably find a way to forgive you.
Okay.
And I'd probably make excuses for why you didn't want to, come hang out with me or let me come hang out with you.
Right.
Now, 10 or 12 times, I probably have a problem with that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sort of.
Of course, if I came to Augusta, I wouldn't ask. I'd just show up. What's up, man? Got a sandwich?
Up close and personal, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Miami trying to dodge UNC and ACC won't let them. I mean, okay, that's actually a good point. How many people... Miami versus North Carolina. Now, where's North Carolina even ranked in this? Are they even ranked anymore?
They're too erratic.
They're ranked 24th in the coaches poll, and they're unranked in the AP poll. Miami is ranked 9th and 12th, respectively, in those 2 polls. So, open question to the comments section. Neutral field, who would you pick, Miami or North Carolina? Miami versus North Carolina is a much harder game to pick than Miami versus any of the teams ranked ahead of them. So that should tell you all you need to know about crying about where Miami is ranked. I bet you if Miami and North Carolina played, the line would be within 3 points. And even the people in the comment section, I bet it would be close to 50-50 on who people would pick to win.
It's not 50-50 in the comment section right now. It's 75-25, it looks like, UNC.
And I also need to remind Miami fans that this season for you is a complete and total failure, pointless and meaningless season. You know why? Because you're not winning the national title. And that's what you have told me about Georgia in 2017, Georgia in 2018, and Georgia in 2019. So congratulations, Miami, on your pointless, meaningless, disastrous failure of a season. Tiny Tonto, thank you for the super chat. He says Trask for Heisman. I think Trask probably needs to be considered the favorite for the Heisman now.
Over Mac?
I think so.
Reason?
Huh?
Reason being?
He looks better to me. I think his numbers are better. And, the Heisman is a numbers game. The only thing, I wonder it's going to be interesting to me. I just have a feeling they want Trevor Lawrence to win it. I honestly have that feeling. He's been one of, if not the best quarterbacks in football for now 3 straight years. He's been on a team that's going to make the playoffs all 3 years. He became like the darling of the media this offseason with his hashtags on Twitter about saving the season and all this kind of stuff. But his numbers are not close to Kyle Trask or Mac Jones, and he's missed 2 games, whereas each of those guys have now only missed one, have missed 1 so far. And I don't know, I still don't know how the Heisman, typically the Heisman is given out after the 12th game of the season when everybody has played 12 games. So it's pretty easy to compare quarterback A to quarterback B. Oh, quarterback A has 5,000 yards. Quarterback B has 4,500. Okay, 5,000 is better than 4,500. Well, what do you do this year when, one quarterback plays, let's say, 7 games, one quarterback plays 9, and you're trying to, so I don't know how they're going to sort of break that down. If they're going to look at a per game average, I don't know. But I can tell you right now, from just watching the games, Kyle Trask looks like the best quarterback in football. And in my opinion, Justin Fields a close second.
Yeah, we just haven't seen enough, I think, of Fields yet. They got Indiana this week, right? Yeah, they got Indiana. Would you be okay
It's going to be a good game, too.
If Trevor Lawrence, continues along the path that he's been going down this season? Would you be okay with him winning the Heisman? Let's just say Trevor, Mac Jones, and Trask all continue, and Justin Fields continue what they've started. Would you be okay if Trevor won it?
All 4 of those guys to me are just unbelievable. You know what else hurts Trevor? Here's something. You know what hurt? I think this might hurt Trevor Lawrence too. Who's the second best player on Ohio State?
I couldn't tell you the second best player on any of those teams. That maybe.
You probably can you should be able to on Clemson without even thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
Travis Etienne.
He's actually probably the best player on that team, maybe.
I think Travis Etienne is the best player in football. I think Travis Etienne
Why is nobody talking about him?
Because he's a running back, and it's hard to win it as a running back. And we've seen this in the past. When you have 2 legitimate Heisman Trophy candidates, it's hard for either one to win the Heisman. So I don't, but that's the point. You don't know who the second, maybe Olave, the wide receiver at Ohio State, whatever. But anyway, Alabama, who's their second best player? Is it Najee Harris? Is it one of the wide receivers?
Well, second best player got hurt.
So. Kyle who's Florida? Probably Kyle Pitts, but he's a tight end. He's not going to take any votes away, even though you can make an argument. Can you believe we would even consider a tight end for a Heisman? But man, he's not going to win it. But I'm just saying he's unbelievable too. But it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Because it's BYU, Joseph Sandberg. That's why nobody's talking about the BYU quarterback.
Bama Mike, thank you for the super chat. It says Miami is just soft as that ducktail on their mascot. Bluegrass Sports Media, thank you, sir. He says, USC Junior, please hire Hugh Freeze. He has been blackballed more than Kim Kardashian. Ouch. Brian,
think he'll be the next.
Go ahead.
Think he'll be the next Carolina coach?
No.
Seems to be the #1 candidate, according to a couple of things I read last night.
Now, it would be great for me and this channel if they hire Hugh Freeze, because I can't stand South Carolina and I can't stand Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
And
Well, it'd give you plenty to talk about.
I like having a coach that I specifically don't like. You know, I think Hugh Freeze is a trash can. I think he's a piece of garbage.
And pretty much a outed cheater.
Yeah. I mean, the guy walks around with his Bible in one hand and his cell phone in the other with a list of prostitutes on it. You know. So it is what it is. Brian Biak, thank you for the super chat. He says, what if I told you the number 2,123rd ranked high school recruit from Texas would eventually be in Heisman contention? ESPN 30 for 30 presents two-star to superstar to Kyle Trask story. I keep seeing this two-star. Kyle Trask, 3-star. But it's still, points the same. And I don't know, post some ranking where he's 2-star. I use 24/7 composite index, and he's a 3-star there. Slim Shady, thank you for the super chat. He says, me and BCC both agree Miami isn't as good as their ranking. I'm not even saying that. I think Miami 9 to 12 is about where they should be ranked. I'm not saying they're ranked wrong. I'm saying to Zoe, stop crying about where they're ranked. Stop beating bad teams by 1 point and stop pretending that you could beat any of these teams ranked ahead of you. Wouldn't happen.
Well, Slim's definitely the most level-headed.
Yeah.
Well, Slim and All About the U. You know who that is, don't you?
All About the U?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty level-headed, too.
Up close and personal, thank you for the super chat. He says UNC scores 50 easily. Can Miami? I doubt it. I don't know about that. Clemson didn't score 50 on Miami. I don't see North Carolina doing it. I think it would be a competitive game, North Carolina and Miami. And that's kind of the point. If I thought North Carolina would blow Miami out, then I would think they were ranked too high. But I don't think they're ranked too. I think they're ranked about right. I think Georgia's ranked about right. 12 to 15 is where Georgia should be. Georgia's played two really good teams and haven't been able to keep it close in the second half either time. They don't deserve to be ranked any higher than they are.
I don't know where that comment's coming from, Celine Driver, but there's literally zero chance Will Muschamp is in Michigan this time next year, unless he's ice fishing somewhere.
Yeah, that's just no way that's happening at all. I do have some good news to report on the Georgia front. Who's ready to see my mans as JT Daniels? JT Daniels is my mans in them.
He's your what?
He's my mans in them. That's what people say sometimes. He's starting this week. Is that breaking news to anybody? Well, here you go. Lutu, breaking news. I'm telling you now. Not that Kirby came out and said it. Of course, it's a government secret if you ask Kirby. That's why I don't even ask Kirby. I go around Kirby. I ask the people that matter. JT Daniels is your quarterback this week. I'm not saying.
Who you guys got again this week?
Mississippi State. Now, I'm not saying he'll play the whole game. I don't know. We may see Carson Beck too. May see DeJuan Mathis.
What's your expectation of this game? How many points should you guys beat them by?
This game shouldn't be close, but neither should have the Kentucky game. So
Kentucky at least has a good defense.
Yeah, and Mississippi State's got a good front. Not great, but good. A good front on defense. But, I mean, with anything even remotely resembling competent quarterback play, Georgia should win this game by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Now, and this is the problem Kirby has himself in. What's going to happen if JT Daniels comes out in this game? And I think I said this last week. Forget something crazy. I'm not even talking about 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. Forget that. What if he comes out and just has an average day? Now, an average day would be, let's say he's 20 of 26, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And we went.
That's an average day?
In modern college football, yes, throwing for over 200 yards is average. So, yeah. So let's say he throws for 220, completes 65% of his passes, has 3 touchdowns and an interception, and Georgia wins the game 42-17. How does Kirby justify that versus what we've seen the first 2 months of this season? He's gonna have to lie and say he didn't play JT Daniels because his leg wasn't ready, and that's gonna be a straight up lie.
He's been progressively getting better, Lou. He's been a work in progress.
Yeah, whatever he says, it's going to be a lie.
Duncan's been grooming him.
He's going to look like a complete idiot if that happens. You know what I mean? He's going to look terrible if that happens. And I'm not saying it will because, it appears to me it almost doesn't matter who Georgia's quarterback is. They're not going to play well. We've just seen that time after time after time. But I'm just saying and again, I'm not even saying anything crazy. Not Kyle Trask numbers or anything like that. Forget all that. Just, you got to, BVD, the last game we played, we had 2 different quarterbacks, 9 of 29 for 112 yards. And I think a total of 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find a worse quarterback performance. What was the game? Didn't Tennessee throw a bunch of minutes? Was it Kentucky they threw 3 interceptions or something?
Yeah.
I wonder what they ended up with in that game total, because that was a similar thing. Y'all played multiple quarterbacks.
It was really bad. We only had 200 and some yards of offense in that game.
Yeah.
Worst offensive output. I'm trying to think. Seems like there was another game we had shitty offense. I don't know, man. It's so bad up here. It's hard to distinguish puddles of poo. I hate to say this. I'll be glad when this season's over for Tennessee. This has been painful.
Clemson fan wants to know if JT Daniels can play defense. I think he's under the impression that Georgia's defense must not be good. Let's see. Here's Notre Dame schedule. No, here's the amount of points Notre Dame has scored this season. You ready, BVD?
Go.
27 against Duke, 42 against Florida State. Now, Florida State's epically terrible, are they not?
Pretty much.
Okay, so 42. 12 points against Louisville.
Ooh.
45 against Pitt.
Pretty bad.
31 against Georgia Tech. Guess how many they scored against the Tater? 47.
How much of that? Not that it matters.
If
they
JT
still
Daniels
scored quite a bit.
If JT
how much
Daniels
of that was in
could
overtime?
play defense, if JT Daniels could play defense, he ought to transfer to Clemson, shouldn't he? Now, the Clemson man, you know what the Clemson man's going to tell me? They had players out on defense. So either this guy's football ignorant, meaning he doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't know that half Georgia's defense didn't play against Florida. Actually, that's the only option. He's just ignorant. I figured it out. There is no other option. He's straight up brain dead. Gave up 47 points to Notre Dame. Georgia gave up a bunch of points to the 2 best offenses in football. Florida and Alabama.
40 plus in each game, right?
Yeah. 40, what was Alabama? What did Alabama have? 41 and Florida had 44, something like that?
Yeah. Is there a team in the country that would hold Bama to under 35?
I don't think so, and that's not a shot on any other defenses. This is the point I've been
Right.
making. Offenses are winning now. Georgia's got a great defense. Georgia's got a great defense, but you're going to get lit up against these teams. Georgia had the number 1 defense in America last year, gave up 37 to LSU. I mean, it's going to happen. You can't slow these off. You can't stop these offenses anymore. How many did LSU score on Clemson last year? I don't remember.
Oh God,
60?
it was a pile.
Yeah. Can you imagine losing to Notre Dame?
Well,
I can't. It's never happened.
it happened.
I mean, Ian Book looked like a Heisman candidate out there, didn't he?
He's got to be a senior, right?
Sure played like it against Clemson, didn't he? He lit them up. Barely completed 50% of his passes against Georgia last year and threw 2 interceptions. Did manage to score 17 points, though.
That was last year, Lou.
Clemson doesn't have to wait till Clemson doesn't have to wait till week 7 or 8 or whatever it is to catch their first loss next year. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Catching that first one early.
I was sitting here trying to think of somebody that might hold Alabama to under 35, and I can't think of anybody either. Alabama could probably hold Alabama to under 35. That'd be about the only way.
I did call GameStop yesterday.
How'd that turn out?
I did record it.
Get any satisfaction, did you?
Here's a highlight from my call to GameStop yesterday. I'll put it up on the screen now.
Yeah. Looks like me yesterday about 8:05.
My pleasure. Great, thank you.
Press 4 for assistance with a gift on the status of an order. Please press 2. If you're calling to place an order, change a payment, or make a payment, all other inquiries, please stay on the line. For quality and training purposes, your call may be recorded. To place an order, change a payment, or make a payment, please /California privacy. Unexpected delays in processing.
Yep. The order number is
105-6.
Oh, this happened like 10 times where he has to check something.
Okay, may I have your billing address for?
Yeah, the bundle or whatever y'all were selling.
Yes, correct.
Now,
PS5 bundle.
Yep, I got it in. Can you tell me how much that cost?
Sure, it's The total amount for the order is $699 with 96 cents.
Okay. Now, I paid by PayPal.
Okay.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 charges from y'all. Dated from September 16th to November 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More than that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 13 charges from you. None of them are for that amount you told me. And they don't add up to that amount.
Okay.
So can you explain this to me?
Yeah, sure. Just allow me a minute to look into this, please.
By a minute, he means like 5 minutes. See? Look at this. I'm starting to get mad.
Do you have any description for the charges that were made?
A lot of them say purchase from GameStop Corporation completed. Some of them say author. I don't understand. Like, why are there charges for $33.86? I didn't buy anything from you for $33.86. So I don't know why there's a charge for that amount. I don't know why there's a charge for $159.99 when I didn't buy anything from you for $159.99. I don't know why there's a charge of $427.09 when I didn't buy anything from you for $427.09. I don't know why there's a charge of $79.02 when I didn't buy anything from you for $79.02, and it just goes on and on like that, and there's 13 of them.
Okay, I get it. I'm not quite sure how I get it. I'm just looking into what's completed with PayPal. I'm trying to find an explanation for this issue.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm trying to do too.
I get it. I'm just looking into this because this is not how the payments are processed usually. So I'm still looking into this.
Okay.
How'd you stay awake?
Hard to go to sleep when you're mad, at least for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Look bored. Not mad.
Have you tried contacting them?
Now, I understand what you're saying, and maybe that would make sense if all of these charges were on the same day, and maybe PayPal just split them up for some reason. But y'all charged me on September 16th, October 29th, November 7th, November 8th, November 9th, and November 11th. Y'all, I mean, these charges are over a 6-week period.
Okay.
These charges started the day I ordered this PlayStation back on September 16th. And there's 13 of them.
Okay, I get it. However, usually the items are charged only once they're shipped.
The PlayStation 5 didn't ship until 3 days ago. I've got charges.
So many different charges.
Well, it wasn't shipped until 3 days ago. There's y'all. I mean, these charges are over a 6-week period.
Okay.
These charges started the day I ordered this PlayStation back on September 16th. And there's 13 of them.
Okay, I get it. However, usually the items are charged only once they're shipped. Okay, so that might be the reason why this must be split in so many different charges.
Well, it wasn't shipped until 3 days ago. There's charges on here from a month and a half ago. The PlayStation 5 didn't ship until 3 days ago. I've got charges from October 29th, November 7th, November 8th. The PlayStation didn't ship on November 7th or November 8th. It didn't come out to the 12th.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct.
So I don't know why I'm charged. I mean, this is $1,500 or $1,600 worth of charges. You know?
Okay.
33 plus 79 plus 427 plus 33 plus 33 plus 79 plus 79 plus 159 plus 427 plus 159 plus 33. I mean, seems to me I ordered a PlayStation bundle for an amount of money. Seems I should have been charged one time that amount of money. Not 13 different charges. Well, like, why is there a $33.86 charge? Why? What is that for?
Yes, I was
When
telling
did you charge?
do
I
not
mean,
have the charge on file here.
when do you say you charged me? What date do you say you charged me?
Okay, let me check.
Guy has to check every time you ask him something.
Seems like the transaction was made on the pre-order date, so it was in September.
I hope you could hear the guy
do you
better
have
than I
any
can.
idea why on November 11th I was charged 3 times? Once for $33.86, once for $159.99, and once for $427.09.
Completely honest with you, I don't know the reason. In this case, I would advise to check with people.
No. Anyway, it goes on and on like that. He tries to tell me to call PayPal instead. I keep telling him no over and over again. Finally, a manager comes on at the end. I explain to the manager what happened. He looks it up, and they charged me twice is what happened. So they refunded me. So I didn't have to really get upset or anything. So there's not much more to show. Literally, once the manager came on, within 2 minutes, he figured it out, and I was refunded half my money.
Okay. That's the main thing. That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line, because Uncle Lou said so. So that's what happened with GameStop.
That first guy's name wasn't Daniel, was it?
I don't know. I have no idea. He said what happened is that I don't know how many PlayStation 5s they ended up actually getting in on their pre-order. Let's say it was 10,000. I'm making a number up. Well, they accidentally took like 15,000 pre-orders. So they actually took more pre-orders than units they had available to sell. So they had to contact a bunch of people and refund a bunch of people saying, sorry, we don't have your thing or whatever. And initially they did that to me. When I first ordered the thing, I got an email 2 days after I ordered it that said, we're sorry, but we're going to have to cancel your order. Well, then the very next day, before I even contacted them to figure out what was going on, the very next day, they emailed me again and said, disregard that previous email. We do have one for you. And so I said, okay, great. And this was back in September. And again, it just came out on November 12th. So I go to my PayPal and pull it up, and there's all these charges there. So what happened is basically they charged me initially when I bought the thing. And then when they thought they were going to have to cancel the order, they initiated a refund, but they never actually completed the refund or processed the refund, because I guess it takes 48 hours. Within that 48-hour period, they sent me that second email saying, no, forget that. And they reinstated my order. And when they reinstated my order, they charged me again. Or it set in motion an automatic system that eventually charged me again when the PlayStation shipped on November 11th. But they never actually completed the refund from when they charged me the first time. So that's basically how the manager explained it to me. He still couldn't explain why the charges were broken up like that on my PayPal in those weird amounts. He still couldn't figure that out. But I let that go once he told me he was refunding me the money. So, I mean, that's $700-something. You know what I mean? That's not chump change, especially at Christmas time.
No, that's a lot of do-re-mi.
Yeah. Bama Mike says, can't wait for lunch money. Yeah, lunch money coming up today at 12. Me and Pigskin Pete. I haven't even looked. I don't know if I lost last week or if I won. I do know I beat Pete in our Masters bet. I picked a Georgia golfer. He picked a Clemson golfer for $20, you know?
Which was the Clemson golfer?
I can't remember which one he picked, to be honest. I'll have to ask him today. I forgot about it. And then he sent me a text message last night that said, hey, I just sent you your $20 for our Masters bet. I didn't even know if I'd won or lost. I had Bubba Watson from Georgia. I don't know who he had. I can't remember. And I don't remember.
This ought to make weekend golfers feel better. Tiger Woods had a 10 on a par 3.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Hit it in the drink 3 times.
Yeah.
That's great. I love when that happens.
What a shame.
That's some Roy McAvoy shit right there.
You know what? I think for the Screw Lou contest on the Lunch Money Show, I think all the games I picked on Tuesday ended up getting canceled. So I didn't lose. Albert says, what a ripoff. Well, it ended up not being a ripoff because they gave me my money back.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing there for a minute, Marcus Cameron. I thought Dustin Johnson went to Clemson.
No.
In which case, Lou would have been in trouble.
Yeah. Yes. I would have. Brian says, are you betting the Heisman? No, I don't bet the Heisman. No, I don't do. The only time I do prop bets is for the Super Bowl. I don't usually do prop bets or futures bets.
What's the dumbest prop bet you can think of off the top of your head that you've ever made?
Oh God, I did a video on this last year, the week of the Super Bowl. But I mean, they for the Super Bowl they have everything from, like I forget who was singing last year. It was a woman though. Was it Beyonce? I forget who it was. But you could bet on whether or not she would have a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, I remember that.
You could bet on whether she wore a dress or pants. You could bet on how long it took the person to sing the national anthem, like over, under a minute and a half or whatever it was. I mean, it must have been 200 or 300 bets like that you could make that didn't even involve the football game in any way at all. They got some really strange ones for the Super Bowl, and I'll do like, I'll take like $100 and just make 10 different $10 bets on weird prop bets just for fun. I don't remember which ones I bet on or which ones I didn't, but there's always a ton of weird ones. There's always a ton of weird ones for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What's the dumbest one you personally have ever bet on?
I don't even remember which ones I bet on. I think I bet the over-under on the national anthem. I think I bet no on the wardrobe malfunction. I don't know what the dumbest one is, though. They're all pretty dumb, honestly.
Makes Vegas a lot of money, though. Sucking people in on those.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't tear casinos down and make smaller ones.
Yeah, that's fact.
So, I mean, they're not.
Harrah's
they're not
Cherokee is
money.
prime example of that one.
Now, they were hurting for a while this year when there was nothing to bet on. I mean, not because they were losing money, but because they had no way of making any. You know? But
yeah, hard to bet on something that isn't happening.
Yeah. I took a 25% pay cut from Bet Now this year. They didn't ask me to. I just offered because I knew they were hurting, and they've been good to me.
Sounded muffled this morning.
Yeah, Mick, you can live betting. Yeah, you can do that. Bet Now has live betting options too. I don't mess with that either. But yeah, you can bet on if the next play is a run or a pass. You can bet on how the current possession will end. Will it be a touchdown, a field goal, a turnover, or a punt? It's all kinds of weird stuff like that.
Yes. Where'd it go? Yes. Snake. The Texans really traded Hopkins about
for nothing.
How many months ago now?
Yeah, for basically nothing. They basically gave him away.
Yeah. Got DJ and I think a second round pick.
K Sox, thank you for the super chat. He says, Uncle Woo, the Florida Gators are too good. Too good for what?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering. Are they too cool for school also?
Chess Hall wants to know the odds on if Sleeta picks his nose and eats it today.
Well, if you go back to a old live stream of mine, the odds are 100% that he will.
Well, we can't go back to that live stream. Chess Hall said you deleted it.
Don't recall deleting that one. Maybe YouTube deleted it for me.
That's what he said yesterday. He's the traffic reporter. I'm gonna take him at his word. I hope everybody went to Sleeta's channel yesterday and asked him why he's not coming to the Slob Olympics like we asked you to. We really need you to do that. Go to Sleeta's channel, ask him why he's not coming to the Slob. He likes to be asked that. He loves it.
While you're at it, tell him to chill.
Makes his day. Yeah, tell him to chill out. Nobody tells me to chill out.
Bad Dog, did you go over to Sleeta's channel and ask him why he's decided not to come to the Slob Olympics?
Maybe now Bad Dog can come since Sleeta's not. Bad Dog wasn't going to come because he didn't want to confront. He didn't want to have to confront Sleeta.
Right.
Now that Sleeta's not coming,
does open up a slot.
Yeah, maybe Bad Dog will come. No reason to be scared now. Yesterday we had one game on the cancellation list yesterday, remember? Today we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Damn.
Ole Miss at Texas A&M, Georgia Tech at Miami, Charlotte at Marshall. Oh no Marshall this weekend. That's that hurts. That's money I can't win. They cover every week. UL Monroe at Louisiana Tech, Arizona State at Colorado, UAB at UTEP, and Ohio at Miami of Ohio. Neither of which is Ohio State. In case anyone was wondering, and I'm pretty sure that they were. So,
the much anticipated battle between Ohio and Miami of Ohio will not happen this year.
Yesterday morning we had 1 game canceled. Today we have 7. When we fire this show back up on Thursday morning, if I put the over under at 11.
I'm going over.
Over, okay. So that would be 5 more games would get canceled, would be 12. That would be over. So you need 5 more games to get canceled to hit the over.
What would you go, over or under?
I want to go under. The fan in me wants to say under, but man, I don't know. I think 11 was the right number, like, to pick for the over-under. I know Georgia's okay, and according to Kirby yesterday, he said he's talked to Mississippi State and that they're okay. So it looks like, unless something happens during the, unless someone was lying or something else happens, it looks like that game will be played. So that's good. Georgia, Mississippi State. After getting postponed last week. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it could end up way higher than 11. Let's hope not.
Who said that?
No, I was saying we could end up with way more than 11 by Thursday. And I think we will. That's why I go with the over, but I hope we don't. I hope I'm wrong. Hope Tennessee Auburn's not on that list. Like to see us have a chance at one more win this year.
K-Sox said Uncle Lou is a Florida Gator. Y'all just saying. Paid $3.
Go Gator.
He paid $3 for me to read that. South Carolina is getting Willie Taggart. I mean, if we go by recent patterns, they're getting Jim McElwain. They seem to have some sort of sick fetish and obsession with ex-Florida coaches. Spurrier, then Muschamp. McElwain would be next on that list. That ain't happening. They won't go down that road again. Brent Venables to South Carolina? No way. No way.
Oh, hell no.
He's turned down top 15 jobs. He's not going to South Carolina. I would be shocked if
holding out for that. Venables holding out for that South Carolina position. That'd be a shocker, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. He's going to take the job, and he's going to hire Hugh Freeze as his offensive coordinator.
Dan Mullen's wife to South Carolina.
South Carolina's going to beat everybody by 30 when they do that.
Oh, boy. Trolls
playing in Columbia.
Is Celine Driver still in there? Yeah, Celine Driver's still in there. Celine, I want a G-Shock watch. Send me some info. Tell me which one I should get.
a bargain basement Gator chomp?
Uncle Luke,
GameStop?
can we get a Gator chomp? No. Hugh Freeze to South Carolina. Boy, nothing would make me happier. I'm not convinced. He may still be barred from the SEC. I don't know. And anybody that hires him as a head coach right now is dumb because you get a lot that comes with a Hugh Freeze hire that nobody wants. Mainly an army of NCAA investigators. And ask LSU right now how it works out when NCAA investigators move into town and set up shop for a couple of months. Ask them. They're crumbling right before our eyes right now.
Am I on a different line this morning?
No.
Like, am I patched in on a different line?
No.
Keeps fading. Like, if you talk louder, of course, you're going to say, well, of course. The louder you talk, the more crisp and clear the volume gets. But when you're real low, it's like almost muffled, like you got your hand over the microphone or something.
Mm.
Clearly, you don't. I mean, I don't know what's up with that.
White
Have you ever
Tonto
had
to South Carolina. That would be interesting.
the white Tonto or tiny Tonto?
White Tonto to South Carolina. Tiny Tonto says the white Tonto to South Carolina.
We need a tiny white Tonto.
Yes, we do.
How come there's no tiny white Tonto trolls out there? Troll counts or whatever. Guys need to step your games up.
Sarkeesian to USC Junior. That's a possibility. That makes some sense. Don't you think they got to go offense? Don't you think they'll do that? They Muschamp.
Yeah, defense didn't work.
I mean, I know there's not another Spurrier out there, but they clearly were more successful and exciting to watch and all those kinds of things with an offensive guy. Now, I know that's not a fair comparison because Muschamp's just not on that level, but you see this a lot of times when a team has a head coach of a certain type and it doesn't work out, they go the other way the next time. Muschamp, a defensive guy, maybe they go, maybe they're looking for an offensive guy this time, that type of thing. So, and most of the names I've seen mentioned, Hugh Freeze, Sarkeesian, Luke Fickell, these are offensive guys. Larry Fedora? I don't know. Ron Zook. I watched Black Mirror, Brian. Do they have any? Is there a new season out or something? Because I'd seen, it's been several months since I watched it, but I'd seen them all. Butch Jones to South Carolina. He is available come December.
Yeah, he is.
Come December, Butch Jones is available to be hired as a coach again.
Well, he's available now, isn't he?
Well, no, not technically. Well, if he would have took another job, Tennessee wouldn't have had to pay him. That's how buyouts.
Right.
That's how that works. So you see that's why they go to places like Alabama and hide in a broom closet as a quote unquote analyst. Because if you get a job as a real coach somewhere, then the other team doesn't have to pay you anymore. Or they only pay you the difference. So let's say he was making $4 million a year at Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a job as a on-field coach at Bama for $500,000 a year. Well, Tennessee deducts that $500,000 from what they would have to pay him. So he basically works for free if he works. So he can be a quote-unquote analyst and still get paid by Tennessee the full amount. But the last payment is in December, and then he doesn't worry about that anymore. and neither does Tennessee. Then Tennessee can afford another buyout next year. See how that works?
Yeah.
But no, Tennessee fans know they're not firing Pruitt this year, don't they? I still see some people talking about it, but you don't think they're not that serious, are they? They realize that Pruitt's coming back, right? I know you do. I know you
There's
know.
probably a handful.
Yeah.
That think they're going to fire him.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Or hope they're going to fire him.
You don't. I mean, you don't think there's any chance of that, do you?
No.
I don't either.
No. Speak stupid.
Right, I think so too.
The last thing.
Trey, it's not. It's actually a Christmas gift for my son. So I don't. He asked me if I like the PlayStation 5. I don't have any idea. That's a Christmas present for my son. So it's still sitting in the FedEx box that they brought it here in. How much do analysts make? Yeah, it depends. I mean, there's no salary cap or anything on what an analyst can make, so I'm not sure what Butch Jones is making in Alabama. Do you happen to know, BVD?
No.
Let me see if I can try to look it up.
You should just leave that. You should leave it in the FedEx box and then write his name on it and put it under the tree. Mrs. Lou wouldn't have any part of that, would she?
Butch Jones is making $35,000 a year. How about that, BVD?
Chump change.
Uncle Lou makes more than Butch Jones.
That's tip money.
How is it possible that Uncle Lou? God dang. Oh my God. I'm not making it up. Butch Jones makes $35,000 a year as an Alabama offensive analyst.
When's your buyout with Tennessee up?
Me?
Yeah.
Never. They pay me. They always pay me.
You're on the loop payment plan.
Every time Tennessee does something stupid or loses a game they shouldn't, they pay me. Every time. Now, not directly. They funnel it through.
Right.
They funnel it through Google and YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to start using that as. I got to work that into a trash talk. The problem is we've already played Tennessee and Bama. I don't know how I'll work it in, but I'll have to figure out a way to work that into one of these trash talk videos that I make more than Butch Jones.
Yeah, you got to do it quick too, because after next month.
35,000 a year. I'm not putting down $35,000 a year. The point is that's extremely low when you think about these numbers we see associated with college coaches. You know, even assistants and coordinators and that are making in the hundreds of thousands usually. So I'm not putting down $35,000 a year is good money, depending on where you live.
I'd take it.
But so I don't want anybody to think I'm putting that down. It's just funny. It would just be funny as trash talk, as a trash talk talking point.
Wonder if Saban tips him when he washes his car.
So you think he might be getting paid under the table for those car washing duties? That's not included in the $35K?
Could be. Could very well be.
Interesting.
The goings on of how money gets dispersed at Alabama is a mighty tricky thing.
Yeah.
And shady too.
Very interesting.
So say the Alabama apologists.
Yeah. Celine, did you hear they're not making the 350 anymore? That hurts my feelings. And my feelings are important to me.
I'm a little bit upset too. They quit making the 01 Ford Explorers.
Yeah, they quit making those back in 2000.
Bastards.
Yeah. Does Ford still make the Windstar?
That's the van, right?
Yeah, and if they do, can you get one?
Me personally?
Yes.
Oh, no interest in that. Those are ugly.
Oh.
They don't look cool like the Dodge Caravan.
Oh, you like minivans as opposed to conversion vans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know the difference.
Well, the minivans are smaller.
No,
The conversion vans are big ones.
those old big 10-foot tall vans.
Yeah.
I used to have a mini conversion van.
That's great.
Had the little TV and everything in it that didn't work.
Yeah, Drew too. I want one. I want a GT350, but they're not making them anymore. Well, I would never be able to afford a new one anyway, but so I guess that doesn't matter. But the problem is now that they're not making them anymore, the ones that are out there are gonna only get more expensive now because whatever's out there is all that's ever going to be out there. Oh, that's not true, Brandon Pratt. They're two totally different. The GT500 is a drag car. The 350 is a track car. The 350 would smoke a 500 on a track. It wouldn't be close, and the 500 would smoke the 350 in a quarter mile. But they're not meant for the same thing. If all you want to do is go in a straight line, then you can buy one of those land yachts that they call a Dodge Demon. The Dodge Demon is the fastest production car in the world. You know that? 0 to 60.
I've never even heard of a Dodge Demon.
Did you know that, Celine? Faster than the Bugatti Veyron, the Bugatti Chiron, faster than any Lambo, any Ferrari, any McLaren. I'm talking production cars. 0 to 60. The Dodge Demon is the fastest production car on planet Earth.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
And it also would get gapped on a track by a GT350. They're two different. They're not meant for the same things. You can't. It takes an hour to do a U-turn in a Dodge Demon. You know what I mean? They're
Dodge
land yachts.
Demon. Show us Dodge Demon.
Show you a picture of a Dodge Demon?
Yeah. Somehow I envision it looking like a modern day Plymouth Duster.
Like the old Chevelles or whatever. They're big like that. Here you go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'd take one of those. Why not?
I don't like them.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice. Man, 20 years old, Celine driver? Thought you were driving like a new one.
Creeping Death says, I hope Trask goes pro next year. Will SEC championship game cancel? There's no way to know that right now. Okay, thanks, Celine. Tesla's like third on the list. Tesla has two cars in the top 10. One of them is like third, but the Dodge Demon is number 1, 0 to 60.
Already confirmed, Brian, that Trask is coming back next year.
What?
Yeah, Brian,
I don't believe confirmed. There's no such thing as confirmed.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as confirmed until the season ends and he doesn't announce that he's entering the draft. When that date, I forget the date, but there's no such thing as confirmed until it happens.
Yeah, I can't see that, Aaron. I can't see there being a single Bama fan alive that's out there saying, you know what, we need to get rid of this Saban guy.
Right now, Trask would probably be third or fourth QB taken. It's hard to turn down that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt. I mean, just think about how many seniors there are in college football that have no chance at getting drafted. They're all coming back. Where else are they going to go? Next year is going to be the minute this season ends. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with a lot of these players. You're going to have more returning starters on teams next year in general than you've ever had in the history of college football. No one has. Everybody can. Every single college football player in America is eligible to play next year. Every single one, unless they fail. But no one is out of eligibility. This year doesn't count at all. So everybody, think about how many. Experience matters in college football. There are, sometimes experience can overcome talent. Now, you have to be close in talent, but you've got a lot of seniors that have been playing for 2 or 3 years and are good, but they're not NFL good. They'll be back. Georgia's got a couple on defense in particular. I think that will be back. And every team's going to have some. I honestly don't know who on Georgia's defense. I'm sure some will leave. But it's like I made a video last week. Where's the first round draft pick on Georgia's defense? Where? Who is it? I don't know that there is one. Where's the second round draft pick on Georgia's defense? Maybe Richard LeCount? Maybe second round? I mean, where's Tyson Campbell going to get drafted? The guy's been playing cornerback since 8th grade. He still can't turn his head around. And that's sad that there's no first-round picks on Georgia's defense, because when you're a 5-star, that's the expectation. That's literally what a 5-star ranking means.
You're going to go first round, man.
It means you're projected to be a first-round NFL talent. And Georgia keeps getting all these 5-stars, and none of them are getting drafted in the first round. When's that going to catch up with Georgia? Soon. Negative recruiting. Nick Saban can't wait to sit down in some defensive end's living room and tell him, yeah, Georgia's had 4 5-star outside linebackers or defensive ends. Not a single one of them has been drafted in the first round. You sure you want to go there? It's going to start happening. Yeah, I saw that about DeAndre Baker. I don't know if he appears to me to be a very lucky individual. Stokes is a possibility. I don't know about first round, but I think he's got a chance in the NFL. He's a lot like DeAndre Baker. Nobody knew who DeAndre Baker was really till his last year. You know, he wasn't a highly recruited guy either. There were both DeAndre Baker and Eric Stokes were 3 stars, and they've been our best 2 corners since Kirby got here. I mean, Richard LeCounte's not even projected to be one of the first 5 safeties taken. And how many safeties get taken in the first 2 rounds typically? 3 or 4 maybe, the most. So LeCounte could be 3rd round or later. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I got another freaking doctor's appointment today, Lou. I don't know if you got my text yesterday, but the next 2 Mondays for me are going to be out. I got the wound clinic on this leg thing. If I've still got a leg next Monday.
Well, all joking aside, I don't know what they're going to tell you, but if they tell you to do something, you better do it, whatever that something is. If it's quitting smoking, if it's changing your diet, if it's whatever, you better do it, because all joking aside, that don't look good, and that is why people with diabetes end up losing their feet and legs. You gotta get that taken care of.
I agree.
All right, so do what they say. All right, appreciate you guys tuning in. No morning show tomorrow, so we'll be back Thursday morning to do this again. But I do have 2 more live shows today on the channel at noon. Me and Pigskin Pete will be here to talk some gambling on the Lunch Money Show. So make sure you tune into that. And then 10 o'clock tonight, of course, Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. Make sure you tune in. Big shout-out to those of you watched this morning. Thank you. And for those that supported the channel through the Super Chat, big shout-out to you guys. Bama Mike, Waikiki, Vector 12, Up Close and Personal, Tiny Tonto, Bama Mike, Bluegrass Sports Media, Brian Biak, Slim Shady Canes, Up Close and Personal, Bama Mike, Albert Sancho, K-Sox, Creeping Death, and Greg. Greg says, who do you think is better, Trask or Jones? They're very similar. Neither one is a quarterback that you would consider to be like extremely athletic or mobile, but they're not statues. They can move around. They're not Jake Fromm. You know, they're not Tom Brady or Peyton Manning types. I mean, they can move and run. I think Trevor Lawrence is better.
An easier question, an easier form of a question for you.
Yeah.
If you can have one of them starting for Georgia this weekend, which one's it going to be?
I'd take Trask, I think. But that's not an insult to Mac Jones. I mean, you're picking,
right.
You're splitting hairs between those two. Those 2 QBs, to me, are very similar. Very similar. They're both surrounded by elite wide receiver talent. They both can make every single throw. They both have NFL arms. And neither is considered, very mobile. They can move a little. They're not statues, like I said, so I'm not insulting them. I'm just saying they're similar. Like Trevor Lawrence, to me, more mobile, more athletic, a better runner than either of those 2. But those 2 are having better seasons this year than Trevor Lawrence. I still think Trevor Lawrence is better than both of them. I think the NFL will agree. And Justin Fields, I think, may get drafted ahead of either one of those 2 because of his mobility and athletic ability, and people are just in love with that from a quarterback right now. So, but thank you for the Super Chat. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. We will be back Thursday morning. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And have a good morning.
See you.